Hello guys, my name is Devish and welcome to my channel. This is the 28th lecture on the series Python for Beginners, and in this lecture we will discuss the while loop, break statement and continue statement in Python. So here I am at PyCharm. Let's get started with our discussion with while loop. So with while loop we can execute set of commands as long as certain condition is true. So let's take an example. Say I have a printer which has 100 pages in its tray. So as long as there are pages inside the printer, we can always take the print. And after each successful print, the page count will decrease by 1. So let's try to accomplish this statement programmatically using while loop. So I'll write it as page count is equal to 100. So I'll say while page count is greater than 0, we'll write it here as print successful. Okay, and we'll also give one more message. Current page count is equal to page underscore count, and okay, page count, and after the print is successful, the page count should decrease by 1. So once you take a print, the page will be consumed, so we decrease the count by 1. And let's run this program now. Let me scroll to the top. So print successful, current page count is 100, you take one print out, then it becomes 99, 98, 97. It goes till the time we have last page in the printer, and once the current page count is 0, after that the count is decreased to 0, and once it is 0 you cannot take the print. So if you want to capture that scenario as well, you can use a else statement here, and you can write print no pages in printer. Let me run this again. No pages in printer, and you can also write it like if you want to check the page count. No pages in printer, and the count is 0. So this is while loop for us. As long as the condition highlighted here is true, this loop will execute, and inside this block of code we can write our logic. And if we want to if you want to do something when this condition is false, we can write it using else statement here. Okay, now let us think of a situation in which we want to break the execution of this while loop. Suppose there is on the occurrence of certain event, I don't want the printing to continue. Like say I want to maintain a reserve of 25 pages. So as the page count is reached to 25, I just want to stop this printing process. Okay, yeah. So how do I accomplish that? So to address this, we have a break statement in Python. So let's write logic for the scenario which we have just discussed. So I'll say if page count is equal to 25, in this situation I want to break this entire execution here itself. So as we write the break statement here, the execution of while loop is terminated at this point of time, and we can also capture the page count here before giving the break. I can write it as a print statement here. While loop at page count is equal to, and then I can just give the variable name page count, and let's run this program now, terminating the while loop at the page count of 20, at the page count is equal to 25. So this is how we can use break statement to come out of the while loop, that is to stop the execution of while loop. Let's take another example. Let us take a variable, say I is equal to 1, and now I'm going to write my while loop. So I'm going to say while I is less than 5, print the value of I. The value of I is equal to value of I, and after this just increase the value by 1. So you can say I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, there's one shortcut of doing this as well. So like you can do I plus is equal to 1. So both these statements do the same thing. All right, so what is going to happen when we write this code? Initially the value of I is 1, okay, while 1 is less than 5, which is true. So this condition is met. It goes inside this while loop. It prints the value of I is equal to, the current value is 1. Then it increments the value by 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2 now. While 2 is less than 5, this condition is again true. So it prints the value of I is equal to 2 and comes below. Now the value of I is 2 plus 1, 3. The control again goes to the while loop. 3 is less than 5. The value of I is equal to 3. The value is now incremented to 3 plus 1, which is 4. Control goes to while loop. 4 is less than 5. So we will get the value of I is equal to 5, and sorry, the value of I is equal to 4. Now 4 plus 1 is 5, while 5 is less than 5. At this point of time it is false. So we are going to get a number till 4. The value of I is equal to 1. The value of I is equal to 2, 3, 4, and after that it becomes 5 and the condition is false. And if you want to capture the false condition as well, so we can capture it by using else block. So I can write print the value at which the while loop terminated is equal to, and then I can write the value of I. We know this value is 5 though. Let's run and confirm that. The value at which the while loop terminated is equal to 5. So this is precisely another example on while loop. I hope you are able to follow along and able to build your understanding on while loop. All right. Now let's move on to continue statement. First, let us try to understand the scenario on which we will require the continue statement. Okay, so let's take an example. Suppose I want to print the numbers from 1 to 50, and I want to exclude the numbers which are divisible by 5. So let's write the program for that. I'll say I is equal to 1 while I is less than 51. I is less than 51. Print the value of I is equal to, and then you can get this value. We'll increment the value after that. I plus is equal to 1, and now let's run this program. So we are getting all the numbers from 1 to 50. Now what we have to do, we have to exclude the numbers which are divisible by 5. So let's add the check for that. If I ampersand by 5 is equal to 0, whatever lines of code which are written below this continue statement are excluded from getting executed in current iteration, and the control is sent back to the top. All right, so what happens? So I is equal to 1, I less than 51. Yes, the control goes here, divisible by 0. I ampersand with 5 returns remainder 1. So control doesn't go here, the value is printed as 1. Same happens for 2, 3, 4, and the moment the value comes as 5 ampersand with 5 returns the remainder 0. So continue will get executed and the below lines will not work. So at 5 the control is sent back to the while loop. Since the below lines of code will not be executed when I is divisible by 5, we need to add our incrementation here, and let's run it now. Let us see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is omitted, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is omitted, 15, 20 and 50 is also omitted. So this is how we can leverage continue to accomplish our task. Well, that's all for this video. If you have any questions, please do post them on the comment section. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you at the next lecture.